you wanna see some crazy and also lazy, then you should meet me and my friends. Even though we got no money, we sure as hell funny. Yeah, everything's better with them. We're just like, ooh, ooh, ooh. We don't worry about tomorrow. We just ooh, ooh, ooh. What we wanna do tonight. Waking up at sundown, the world's our playground, and we don't even have to pretend. Every time we're together, it doesn't get better, and every day's like...
Hey guys, Charlani here. All right, this is a video that has been in my DMs for a very long time. This is a request. I saw one on also my video a couple videos ago, so I thought, you know what, let's do it. This is how I style up my curly hair. Is it natural? Yes. Well, story time at the end. I will link all the products I use in the description box and the order that I apply them in. I love Innersense Organic Beauty. I love these products. I've been using them for over 5 years, and I have tried many others, and I've always come back to these. It's clean, non-toxic, organic, and they smell absolutely awesome. Except for the hairspray, not my fave, but I'll show you what I use here in just a minute. I always start with the leave-in conditioner. It's pretty thick, and if you were to just spray that on your hair that way, it would go kind of like in clumps. So I like to water it down just a little bit, dilute it with just one quick spray of water, and then I rub it in my hand, and then I just finger it through my hair. As I apply each product, I kind of do a little bit of the same thing to distribute it. I use praying hands, or I grip my hair in big chunks, and then I scrunch it up. As I do this, each step, it's encouraging both the clumps and the curls to form. So I'm applying the product with my fingers, and then I squeeze in chunks to form clumps, and then I scrunch up. It's both distributing the product and it's encouraging my hair to curl. The other tip here is that at this stage, I want wet hair. As I'm applying my products, I want to hear like a squishing sound when I scrunch it up, because that means that there's enough water to distribute the product throughout. The more wet it is here, the less frizz I have when I scrunch the crunch, which we'll get into here in just a minute. But here I am applying my prep spray. This I spray directly onto my hair because it's a spray foam, but since I have wet hair, it's evenly distributed as I scrunch, so I don't have to spray it into my hand and then apply. Here's the thing, there are several steps here. There are several products obviously that I use, but this process from soaking wet to dry is only about 30 minutes. When I make time to do this and I do it properly, my curls will last 3 to 5 days without having to rewash. On those in-between days, I will refresh, which only takes about 5 minutes, and I'll show you that process here at the end of the video. But if you do it right, it actually saves you time. Now, this is my secret weapon. It's the I Create Volume Lotion. I don't like gel because it's too heavy for my hair. I don't like mousse because it's too light. But this lotion is the Goldilocks product for my hair. It's not too heavy, it's not too light. It creates the perfect cast. It scrunches out beautifully without flaking, and it leaves my hair super shiny and full. And I use a lot, about 6 to 8 pumps each side. And then if I feel like I need more, I'll definitely add more. I have this big 32-ounce bottle with a pump, and then I buy the refill bags when I'm running low. But I prefer the pump because this lotion is slippery and squeezing a bottle can get really messy. So if you decide to do this, then I would suggest buying the big bottle with the pump and then get the refill bags. It'll save you money down the road. So if you didn't notice, I'm at my daughter's salon. She just colored my hair, and that's the Breaker Room room behind me, but this means that I have access to all the hair products like Orbe, Leaf Flower, Davines, lots of the bougie brands, but I prefer to bring my Innersense, especially for curly hair. I think it is absolutely the best. Now, when I want straight hair, Kaylee will give me a blowout, but when I go curly, I prefer to do it on my own. The longer you practice, the better you'll get to know the feel of how much product versus how wet it should be. And for me now, it's really by touch and feel. My favorite hairspray is the Kenra Volume Spray. This is the number 25 Super Hold, and it's amazing for finishing, but I also use it as a styling product. When I'm about 25% dry, I'll spray all over and then continue blow drying. It helps create that cast. Now, I have a Dyson hairdryer, and yes, I love it. It's an investment in your hair health, absolutely worth it. Now, when I'm drying, I use the diffuser fingers to help create the curls, to kind of encourage them up, but I try not to touch it with my hands too much. The more you touch as you dry, the frizzier your hair is going to get. The key here is to create what's called a cast. It's like a barrier that keeps your curls intact as they're drying. So it's gonna get super crunchy. It's gonna look wet as it's drying, but don't worry, we're gonna break that cast and it's gonna leave you with super bouncy curls. Now, besides my wet brush, my 3-prong pick is the only other hair tool I use, and I use it to lift my roots just a bit to give a bit more volume at my scalp. And as my hair dries, it will start to get a bit fuller, but it's still crunchy. When I'm about 80% dry, I'll start to use my fingers to scrunch that crunch and break the cast. Now, this is where I think it's all about feel. Some people will tell you not to touch it, to leave that cast until it's 100% dry. But for me, I like it to be a little bit more frizzy. It gives me more volume. It helps with fullness. But this is where I think the art of curly hair really comes into play. Do you scrunch before it dries? Do you wait until it's half dry, maybe 75%? Everybody is different. So practice. Be patient with your hair. Try different techniques, figure out what works for you, and try different products. Another tip I have is to purchase products from stores that accept returns so that you don't end up with a bazillion hair products that you don't use. Amazon and Ulta are great for that. And I'll link the Innersense products that I use below. You can also get them at curly hair salons. But if you get them on Amazon and they don't work for you, you can simply return them. I'd say whatever product you do decide to give a try, use them at least 3 or 4 times before you deem them useless. Sometimes it's not the product, but how you're using them. So give it a chance, try different techniques, and you should be good to go. It is the next morning, and I just wanted to show you how I refresh. It's very simple, it's very quick, and it's super easy. Now, when I go to bed at night, and let's be honest, it's usually at the end of the day, maybe even midday sometimes, my hair ends up looking like this. We've got a pineapple bun here. So I just have it set this way. This is how I sleep. When I wake up, this is how it is, and I'm good with that. Usually, this is how you see me. However, on the days that I want my hair down and I want the curls to flow, this is how I will refresh. Now, here's the thing. Sometimes this doesn't work. Sometimes when I do a refresh, my curls are super wonky. Maybe my pineapple bun was too tight. Maybe I used a scrunchie that was, too tight. Then sometimes my curls, they're unsavable. But most times, most days, I can get 2 or 3 or 4 days out of my curls. If it's just, make sure your pineapple bun when you sleep is loose and don't fidget with it too much. So let me show you how I refresh curls after wash day. So this is day 2. So yesterday was wash day. We styled it up. That usually takes about 30 minutes. And then today is a refresh day. This usually takes about 5. This is my absolute favorite water bottle. It sprays in a mist rather than squirt, and it's a long stream of spray. You don't need batteries or anything. I'm not exactly sure how it works, but it works. So here is what my hair looks like after a pineapple bun. So you can kind of see. Do you want to know, if you don't know what a pineapple bun is, here it is. I'll show you really quick. So you just take your hair, right? Put it up, grab it in one big ponytail, and you're just going around once, twist, back, grab, and don't pull it through all the way. You can pull it through halfway, and then you go like that. And then sometimes, if this could be a cute messy bun, if you pull the tails out in front like that, pull this down just a little bit like that, and you, honestly, this is probably 75% of my life. This is what my hair looks like. Just because I like it out of my face. So that's how you do a pineapple bun. Super easy. Okay, you take your spray, and all you're doing is wetting it just a little bit. I will link everything just because I know I appreciate when people do that. I'll link all the things that I use, and if I can't find what I use, because I've had this for years, then I'll link something similar. But just a little quick mist. But you can kind of see like where the curls go a little wonky. Get those wetted down. And not too much. I don't like a full saturation, but if your curls are really bad and you don't have time to wash and you need to wear your hair down, then the more water you use, the more wet it is, and the more you can scrunch and reshape your curls.
Just like, ooh, 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 we don't worry about tomorrow, we just ooh, 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 what we wanna do tonight. Waking up at sundown, the world's our playground, and we don't even have to pretend every time we're together.
Oh, look at that color. I love it. It was like a maroon, pinky, magenta. Oh my gosh, it was beautiful in the bowl. It looked so good. And you just keep scrunching until your curls kind of get their shape back. Now I have a cowlick right here, so I usually just spend a little extra time going like that. Try to make sure that I get that out. Like that. And then hair is done. And then I just let it, however wet it is, I will let it air dry. Just like that. I usually have issues with the top of my hair, and then these just kind of come forward a little bit, and they always fall onto my face. I don't like that at all. It drives me crazy. And then if you have curly hair, you know, the more you touch your hair, the more frizzy, the more voluminous it gets, which sometimes is a good thing, but throughout the day, when you've got curly hair here and you've been fiddling and messing with the top like this, the top gets really big, and then you've got these tighter curls down here. In my opinion, it's not a really pretty look. So you can either get it off your face like this and spray the way it is here, or what I like to do, take my little claw clip like this, and then I just pull, I make sure it's even, try and get it all the way back, and then I just grab a little bit like that. Give it just a teeny tiny poof, not a big poof. And then I pull it off my face, and this is usually how you see me wear my hair. Because if it were any other way and I had hair touching my face, it would drive me nuts. And then you just take a little bit of your Kenra, and I just spray. Don't inhale. inhale. And there we go. Voila. I hope I gave you some tips that will help you style up your curly hair. If you have naturally curly hair, if you have perm hair, all of that, I think a lot of these techniques will work. However, I just want to say this, and 5 years ago, when I started my natural curly hair journey, like it's a thing. If you Google anything, if you search it, if you search in YouTube, you're gonna find a whole community of naturally curly hair. And I will not lie, I was so overwhelmed by the process. I ended up going to a lady who specializes in curly hair, and she taught me so many things, because naturally curly hair, there are things that you have to consider. The more you touch it, the frizzier it's going to get, the more volume you're gonna have, and sometimes that's a good thing. But it just depends on your curls, and everybody's curls are different. You have to know how yours work, how they lay, how they take product, if they like a lot of product, if they need a lot of product, maybe they don't, maybe too much product weighs it down. It took me a good year or so to really get my routine in check. Some people will tell you don't touch it when you're drying it. Some people will tell you scrunch as you dry. Some people will tell you praying hands is the only way to do it. I take all of those things and I use in what I'm learning. I use the pieces that make sense for me and my hair, but I like speed. I am not going to, I have seen videos where girls are like scrunching up their curls and dunking their heads in ice water, and I'm like, who has time in the morning to go get a bucket of ice water? No. We don't have time for that. Then it's saturated, sopping wet hair that takes an hour or two to dry. Like, you gotta know that there are some things that are just not practical in daily life. So you have to work and find your own routine, and it's gonna take time. You're gonna have bad hair days. I still have bad hair days. There are days where my hair, I didn't put enough product in. My hair needs and likes product. So the more I put in, the harder my cast is gonna be, but you can always scrunch that out. So in my opinion, for hair like mine, I use more product, and you can scrunch it out so it's not that stiff, hard feeling. So be patient, love the process, embrace your curls. For 20 years, I did not embrace my curls, and I used a straightener, and I put heat on my hair all the time. So you have to, again, embrace the hair you have, learn to love it in the stage that it's at, play with it, work with it, try different techniques, watch different channels and different videos so that you can get other ideas. Find people and use techniques of people who have hair that's very similar to yours. Listen, you guys know, I love a creator who teaches and shows and shares all the things. So find people who have hair that looks like yours, that feels like yours. Well, I guess maybe you're not gonna know how their hair feels, but you can tell by the movement if their hair is soft, because if it's soft, it moves. If it is stiff and has that hard cast on it, then there would not be any movement. It would move all in like one big chunk. So, and I'm not saying that's bad. Some people love that. There are absolutely nights, like if we're going on a date night and I wanna like look all done up, this hair is like a helmet and it will not move. And I put spray in it, and I'll use a pretty clip. Instead of this little clip right here, I'll use a barrette. And do they even call them barrettes anymore? Anyhow, a barrette, a pretty silvery, sparkly barrette. But most days I just use my little clip right here. Some days I'll have two clips right here, and it's almost like they have ponytail. But you know what that does is it gives me amazing volume here. So, okay. that's it. I hope this helped. If it did, let me know. Now, every once in a while, I miss straight hair and I will blow dry my hair straight. Sometimes my daughter will blow dry my hair straight, but I can do it myself too if I want to. If that's a video you'd like to see, let me know. I'll show you. I use the Revlon volume dryer. It is the best, hands down, the best hair straightening tool ever. It's nicer to your hair than a straightener, and I'll do that every once in a while. And now that our weather is getting cooler, it is not as humid, I'm definitely going to be doing that more often. I'll see you in the next video. If you like the beauty kind of videos, please let me know, and I'll definitely incorporate more within the DIYs and room makeovers and cleaning and organization that we do. Pop in a beauty one every once in a while. All right, bye.